This is Dulia De Silva for Gold FM, bringing you your morning news.
The news headlines on Gold FM.
In your news headlines, Trump expects war to last weeks. Lebanon joins Iran defensive. Sri Lankans among the injured in Iran strikes. Strict legal action against fuel hoarders. And in sports news, India into World Cup semi-finals after narrow victory over West Indies.
The top story on Gold FM.
The escalated conflict in the Middle East is continuing, with the United States Central Command saying that over 1,000 Iranian targets were struck in the first 24 hours of Operation Epic Fury. In the meantime, US President Donald Trump says that the military operation against Iran may take up to 4 weeks and will continue until all objectives are achieved. In a special video message posted to social media last night, this is what the US President had to say.
Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action, and sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons, would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. These actions are right, and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America," or "Death to Israel," or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help.
In the meantime, France, Germany and the United Kingdom said that they're ready to defend their interests and those of allies in the Gulf if necessary by taking defensive actions against Iran. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said that he accepted a request from the US to use his country's military bases for defensive strikes against Iran.
That the United Kingdom was not involved in the strikes on Iran. That remains the case. Yesterday, Iran hit a military base in Bahrain, narrowly missing British personnel. Our decision that the UK would not be involved with the strikes on Iran was deliberate, not least because we believe that the best way forward for the region and for the world is a negotiated settlement, one in which Iran agrees to give up any aspirations to develop a nuclear weapon. But Iran is striking British interests nonetheless. and putting British people at huge risk, along with our allies across the region. That is the situation we face today. Our partners in the Gulf have asked us to do more to defend them, and it is my duty to protect British lives. We have British jets in the air as part of coordinated defensive operations, which have already successfully intercepted Iranian strikes. But the only way to stop the threat is to destroy the missiles at source, in their storage depots or the launchers which are used to fire the missiles. The United States has requested permission to use British bases for that specific and limited defensive purpose. We have taken the decision to accept this request. We are not joining these strikes, but we will continue with our defensive actions in the region. And we will also bring experts from Ukraine together with our own experts to help Gulf partners shoot down Iranian drones attacking them. I want to be very clear. We all remember the mistakes of Iraq, and we have learned those lessons. We were not involved in the initial strikes on Iran, and we will not join offensive action now. But Iran is pursuing a scorched earth strategy, so we are supporting the collective self-defense of our allies and our people in the region.
In the meantime, the Gulf Cooperation Council, which consists of the UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar and Kuwait, condemned Iran's attacks. The group, following a meeting, said that the strikes included the targeting of civilian facilities and residential areas and were a violation of their sovereignty and international law. The Gulf Cooperation Council said that it would be ready to defend itself if necessary. In the meantime, the US military said that it destroyed the headquarters of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Force. It said that the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps killed more than 1,000 Americans over the past 47 years, and yesterday, a large-scale US strike cut off the head of the snake. In the meantime, a projectile hit the Marshall Islands flagged product tanker MKD Viome, killing a crew member on board as the vessel sailed off the coast of Oman. US President Donald Trump said he was informed that the US destroyed and sank 9 Iranian naval ships, some of them relatively large and important. He said, quote, "We are going to be after the rest. They will soon be floating at the bottom of the sea," unquote.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
58 citizens from several countries, including Sri Lanka, sustained minor injuries following Iranian attacks on the United Arab Emirates. The UAE Defense Ministry confirmed the casualties, noting 3 fatalities involving nationals from Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh. Ambassadors across the Middle East report that the over 1 million Sri Lankans residing in the region remain safe despite the escalating situation. Data from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs indicates that 350,000 Sri Lankans live within the UAE's 7 emirates, including Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The UAE Foreign Ministry and the Sri Lankan Embassy issued a set of emergency guidelines for all resident Sri Lankans. Authorities established a dedicated WhatsApp helpline at 971 50 931 8538 for citizens to report concerns or seek immediate assistance. Aviation officials suspended Aviation officials suspended 115 flights until midnight today as the regional security climate worsens. Airport authorities advise passengers travelling to or through the Middle East to verify flight statuses via official websites or airline agents before arriving at the terminal. Minister of Ports and Civil Aviation Aruna Karunatilaka confirmed that these measures ensure passenger safety during the current volatility. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says the government must implement a proper programme to ensure the safety of Sri Lankans working in the Middle East amid the erupting regional war. Speaking yesterday, the opposition leader emphasised that the state bears responsibility for the protection of its citizens abroad. In the interest of clarity, we have refrained from dubbing his remarks. In the meantime, police protection remains active at all fuel stations across the island, following a directive from the Police Media Division to manage growing crowds. Authorities ordered station management to refuse the dispensing of fuel into plastic containers, cans or bottles as citizens attempt to stockpile supplies. The move follows observations that the public started hoarding fuel due to the deteriorating security situation in the Middle East. Police warned of legal action against individuals or groups involved in black market fuel sales or spreading of false information on social media regarding supply levels. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation assured the public that sufficient oil reserves exist within the country and urged against unnecessary panic. Despite these assurances, long queues formed at various locations as fears of a potential energy crisis grew. Energy Minister Kumara Jayakody confirmed that the country maintains adequate stocks and distribution continues without interruption. To address the immediate congestion, CPC Chairman DJ Rajakaruna stated that fuel delivery operations proceeded throughout the holiday to stabilise the situation. In the meantime, the government has threatened to go back to the QR code system if illegal hoarding continues. Authorities decided to extend the visa validity for tourists currently in Sri Lanka by 2 weeks free of charge due to practical difficulties arising from the tensions in the Middle East.
Now for some news in brief.
The Department of Meteorology expects mainly fair weather today, although some rains are expected in some parts of the island.
The business news on Gold FM.
Brent crude jumped 10% to $80 a barrel yesterday following military strikes on Iran. Analysts from Barclays and RBC predict prices could exceed $100 over the coming days. Major trading houses suspended shipments after Tehran issued warnings against navigating the waterway of the Hormuz Strait, which handles 20% of global oil.
International news on Gold FM.
Danish shipping giant Maersk suspended all vessel crossings in the Strait of Hormuz until further notice. The firm is now rerouting all sails on the ME11 and the MECL services around the Cape of Good Hope. This change affects key routes connecting the Middle East and India to the Mediterranean and the United States East Coast. Company officials cite the current security situation for the indefinite diversion of its maritime fleet.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
The latest installment in the Scream Slasher series set a new franchise record with a $64.1 million domestic box office opening. The debut significantly surpassed the previous benchmark of $44.4 million held by the 2023 predecessor. Global ticket sales reached $97.2 million after the firm collected an additional $33.1 million from overseas markets.
Sports news on Gold FM.
India secured a 5-wicket victory against the West Indies in a high-scoring Super 8 encounter at Eden Gardens. Chasing a target of 196, the Indian batting lineup reached 199 for 5 with 4 balls remaining in the final over. Earlier, the West Indies posted a formidable 195 for 4, but could not restrain the Indian middle order in the closing stages. This result strengthens India's standing in Group 1 of the T20 World Cup as the tournament moves towards the knockout phase. That's it for now. This is Dulia De Silva for Gold FM. Thank you and have a lovely day ahead.